where we explore insightful, entertaining, and revealing topics. I'm your host, Zor-Akekue, a day. And with me today on this episode is the beautiful and ever looking good Queenette Thompson. Queenette is an operational manager and an artist manager. But Queenette, wait. I know there's more to you than just these two things I mentioned.
Well, there's actually always more to everybody, but actually in my free time, I'm a stylist. I do a bit of makeup. I did what's on my face. I'm also into mobile phone photography and videography in my spare time. That's outside the small other things that I get to do, but yeah.
No, definitely, because I know there's a lot to you than these two things. Definitely, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy to have you here today.
I'm happier to be here. I'm so glad to be here.
Okay, so Queenette, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Okay, my background. Okay, this small woman that is here is a native of Omok in Rivers State, and I'm the last of 11 children. And I always get the question if my father has two wives or had two wives, but no, it's just my father and my mom.
So your mom gave birth to 11?
Yes, 11.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the last.
We
So
really
I'm
need
sitting
to
here like
celebrate.
this now. I have like 20 nieces and nephews, so please, you're supposed to be calling me Auntie Queenette.
Not just Queenette, Auntie Queenette.
Yes,
I swear.
but that's just by the way though. I was born and bred in Rivers State. I mean, from my nursery school till my university days, I've done all of it in Rivers State. So yes, Rivers State is home. Port Harcourt is home. Outside that, I've done a couple of things. Before I started working where I'm working now, I interned with Cool Nigeria. Cool was Obia Nigeria Info. Yeah, I was an intern there for a bit. Before I started working where I'm working now, I'm an artist manager. Like I said, a gospel artist manager, like you said, rather. And I'm operations manager. I get to travel a lot. I get to meet people and I get to make friends. Some of whom have seen me finish. Some of whom I probably have seen finish, but some of whom were still friends. Everybody's still free. There's this openness and genuineness. But yes, I travel a lot. I get to meet a lot of people. And yeah, so that's me. That's a bit about my
Yeah,
background.
so Queenette, with what you say, it's so glittering that you, on a daily basis, you deal with people.
Yes.
Working as an operational manager in a recording, you deal a lot with people.
Yes.
You're traveling almost every day as an operational manager. You deal a lot with people. So at what point do you feel someone has seen you finish?
Okay, so I think that see finish, this is a personal opinion. I think that see finish can occur when not on an acquaintance level. It happens when you're actually close to somebody. And I think the most recent see finish thing that has happened to me was with, should I call the person a celebrity? Because he is actually a celebrity, because with my work, I get to meet most of them. Yes. And honestly, it was just me genuinely reaching out.
Okay.
We used to have conversations. It was just me genuinely reaching out, trying to know how you're doing from time to time. And because you're busy and I'm busy, we don't always get to chat.
Yeah.
Most times when I just see your status or something you did, and I'm saying congratulations and stuff and all of that. And after a while, there was this bridge.
Yeah.
You stop responding to my messages, but then when you want to talk to me, you reach out. When you need something, you send me a message and all of that.
Wow.
So when I noticed that there was see finish happening here, I had to draw the line and give you your vibe back. So that's the most recent point at which I know that I have
So
seen
it's just
see
like
finish.
the weekend policy. You do to me,
I do to you. Well,
push
no,
me,
no.
I push you.
No, not exactly. Not exactly. But there has to be a place for you to have self-respect.
Yeah.
For me, self-respect is really important to me. I don't like people to see me finish. I like to respect people. I respect myself, so I like people to respect me. So if I see that see finish, don't they enter? I just they come up body. Exactly.
So Queenette, I really agree with you that at a point in a relationship or friendship with anybody or call it whatever, when you notice the person is not giving the same energy or the energy is not matching, I think there is a need to withdraw. Because, come on, you can actually lose your value when you keep maybe texting, calling someone that barely call or check up on you. So I think what you do was wrong. What you do was wrong.
Well,
It's dicey.
it's not a black and white thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it depends on the kind of relationship, and then it has to be there have to be certain premises upon which you decide whether or not it's see finish. Because if we basing it on things like not replying messages the same way I'm sending messages or calling, it's a bit dicey. Because I mean, especially when we're adults, like everybody's busy. So for me, there are times when I've had people tell me, like, before I got to know you well, I thought you were forming. But when they got to know me, they actually got to know that most times I'm working 24/7. I can't even take calls or reply messages.
But it's the truth, because I can remember getting you on this show was somehow, because I know I will send the message and some days will pass
Before I respond to you. Yes.
And actually, I know you're not snubbing my business.
Because you know me, you've known me for a long time. But if it's someone who just met me like a few months ago, a few weeks ago, it would be like, this girl, they formal. But so it's not
I just
black and
feel,
white.
just like you're saying, I just feel before you come to a conclusion that I feel like someone you have seen you finish, you should be able to know the people's routine, things that work for them. There are people that actually don't like calling.
Yes.
And there are still people that don't love text. If you want to talk to me, call me. If you text them, they will not respond to your message.
Well,
so
true.
I think, So I think with what you just said, at what point do you think someone should stop being open or being genuine with people because of this experience? Because trust me, it can really be terrible, because this thing has something it does to the self-esteem. So when you keep talking to people, and so is it that we should stop being genuine, or you stop being open-minded, like being yourself with people because you're scared that after all this thing, see finishing to enter.
Well, true.
You understand? So what do you think?
Okay, so for me, these are my personal opinions, right? You said something about self-esteem. True. When you're reaching out to somebody and the person is not reaching out to you, because I mean, relationships on every level is a give and take process. It's not a give or a take thing. When you're always giving and this person, and this person is not giving back, it does something to you, especially if it's a love relationship, I think. So for instance, I'm a girl and I like this guy and I'm trying to reach out to this guy. I've probably not even told him that I like him, but because I'm giving him attention and caring for him and always wanting to know how he's doing, he probably in his head thinks, like every other girl, right? So he's a guy now. The whole African mentality of a girl reaching out to you first is now in his head. So he now starts feeling like James Bond. So he now starts giving you start styling for you, right? As a girl, for most girls, it would do something to your self-esteem. But I'm all for the personal opinion. It's not easy for everybody, but for me.
But that's not still, I don't think it's still finishing. I think if you're still having problem with your self-esteem, your self-worth, I think that's when...
Oh no, the thing is, self-esteem is a personal issue, right?
Yeah.
It now reflects, or it's now more obvious when you're dealing with people. Someone who's a shy person comes into this room, for instance, and I'm very receptive to the person, and we're talking and gisting and laughing. I probably will not know that the person has self-esteem issues. But if someone they walk into this room and everybody is forming, or someone shouts at them at something little, then the way they would, when they cringe, you will know that they have self-esteem issues. So I think that most times you get to understand people's self-esteem after interacting with them, right? It shows when they have an interaction or an encounter with someone else. So for me, what I was going to say before was, I don't think that your self-esteem should be, you should give anybody the power to control your self-esteem or your self-worth or determine your self-worth. So if I meet this guy and for instance, I tell him I like him, and the first part is we're cool, but because I tell you I like you, I'm being nice to you and I'm reaching out to you, and then because you have seen me finish that I like you, you now start forming for me. I will totally carry myself and walk away. You're not the only man in the world. But I will not allow that experience now determine how I'll relate with other guys. Because, I mean, different strokes for different folks. The fact that forgive me, I don't know if I'm supposed to use the word stupid in this show, well, or this show rather, but if you are stupid enough not to notice that I'm a full package, I'm giving you myself on a platter of gold, and I'm giving you myself on a platter of gold, and you're being foolish enough not to see, I'd walk away. There's some Prince Charming somewhere who's going to appreciate all of this. So I won't let my self-esteem or self-worth be measured by your foolishness or your reaction to me. That's what I was going to say. So when I said this whole see finish thing is not a black and white thing, it's somewhere in the middle. I don't think that because 1, 2, 3 people have seen you finish or you've had a see finish experience, you should entirely withdraw from being real with people. I don't think so. Not everybody will see you finish. Not everybody behaves like that.
People that will still know your
that appreciate your worth and appreciate people that would appreciate you for being real. Me, I'm all for being real. If you don't like it, I will simply walk away. Relationship is not by force, right? Especially for love relationships, especially for I'm not married, but I have a few married people around me.
So, Queen, I think that's where power of scarcity, the law of scarcity comes in, because people are always, but just like you said, you traveled, you came back, you were there, everybody's calling you. You know, when you come back, everybody wants to come and hear you. Then it's like as if you're starting a new relationship with your family. So it's the power of scarcity states that things are most times valued
when they are
scarce. So this seat mission maybe sometimes it comes because you are too available.
Yes, that's like the basic part of sea finish. Apart from people that don't have sense, but that's the basic thing that causes sea finish. Because I mean, it's like Mercedes, right? Because Mercedes or Benz is expensive and only a class of people can afford to buy a Benz. So it means that it's scarce for the middle class and the common man, and even for some wealthy, rich people in Nigeria, because I mean, the kind of millions you used to buy a Benz, used to buy a land. So it now makes it very valuable and makes it very, it's like it's being idolized now, if that's the right word to use. But if it was very available like Corolla, I mean, everybody can afford it. So you see now that you cannot put a Corolla and a Mercedes on the same level. So if someone pulls over here now, pulls up here now to carry me with a Benz, everybody be like, wow. But if somebody comes to Corolla, even if it's the person's personal car, they go say na boat.
I swear.
Right? So because of how scarce the Benz is to the common man, it makes it look very precious and exactly than the Corolla. So if I feel like the basic thing that causes sea finish is when you're too available, when you're always there, and when you're basically when you're very available.
So this thing is just like you said, it's just too dicey. Because you are not available, you want to restrict yourself, they say, you're the phone. You say, okay, let me be available now. Then you want to see all shades of insult and what I don't know. So I think that's when emotional intelligence comes in.
Yes.
You study the person and know when to withdraw yourself, know when to come in, know when to just be in the middle. And also, I think, what do you think? I think this whole thing have effect on both the giver and the receiver.
Yes.
The person you think you've seen finish and the person that is seeing you finish. What do you think?
Okay, so you know the saying that you don't know what you have until you lose it. Right. That's an effect on the person who is seeing finish. Because I mean, let's say for instance, I'm in a relationship with this guy. I'm always coming through for him. I'm always there for him. He's sick, I'm there. He needs something. I'm the go-to person. And then he has seen me finish because I'm always there. And then he starts misbehaving. And then he's looking for the girl that is not always available. And he's texting her, he's checking on her. But because
times those people that are not always available, they are not even the people that
exactly. And because he sees me every time, he doesn't even I make my hair. He doesn't even notice I made my hair because I'm always there. But this girl, she's carrying an old hair bow because she goes to the salon and she brushes the hair or stretches it, and you're complimenting her. And you don't feel like I need compliment though because I'm your guy. I'm always there for you, right? But the day I decide that, okay, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. Let me just give you space. Maybe you come to your senses and I leave you and I move on to the other person who has my time, or move on to something else. It might not even be another guy. And then when you need somebody, there's nobody to go to anymore. There's nobody to be there for you anymore. You now remember that, I had this person, oh. But by then you have already lost the person. So I think that most times when we see people finish, the effect on us that are seeing people finish is that we lose genuine relationships and we lose genuine people, because see finish has broken marriages, it has broken relationships, it has even broken business partnerships. So you are on the losing end, because me that is giving you, I'm the one that has been given. So if I stop giving you, I'll actually have more time to myself. You get. Then to some people who are being finished, who have been seen finished, like we talked about self-esteem issues before. For some people who get their self-worth from other people's applause, from other people's approval, right? I think it tends to also hamper their self-esteem further, because if I am somebody who I rely on people's appreciation, on people's applause for my self-worth, for me to feel that sense of accomplishment, right? But if I'm doing this and you're not appreciating me, I'm doing it, I'm not getting approval from you, and you don't see me finish, you're not giving me some kind of attitude, I now feel like maybe I'm not doing something, or maybe I'm not good enough, right? I now cringe and enter my shell, and then it's further worsening my self-esteem. Yeah, so I think that those are some of the effects that it has on both the giver of the C finish and the receiver of the C finish.
Yeah, so do you think there is any time, like in particular, how long do you think you can be with someone and C finishing start coming? Because I think, I don't know if there's really time is involved in this thing, because at the first time everything is rosy, everybody is happy, then come on, the person way they call every day now, you don't reach now, just 1 month, you don't do one thing. So do you think time is time?
I think that in as much as time is a factor, I don't think that time is the basic thing. Because, let's take for instance, I'm in a relationship with a guy, and you know that there are some relationships where people cohabit. Now, we're cohabiting and living together. The guy will see me finish faster, because he sees me when he wakes up, he sees how I brush my teeth, he sees me when I fart, sometimes he even sees me when I'm in the toilet, when I'm using the toilet, he sees me when I have my bath, he sees me almost half naked, or even in some people's relationship, naked at all times. He sees how I cough, he sees how I sneeze, he sees how I eat, he sees how I cook, he has seen me cry, he has seen me laugh, he has seen basically everything about me. And I'm not trying to be innovative, so there's nothing new.
Improving on anything.
It's like reading a book. If I've read from the front cover to the back cover like 50 times, there's nothing else, right? But if you bring a new book, it's intriguing. I want to see what is there. So in a relationship where that's a 1 month relationship, where we are cohabiting, you're seeing everything. And then there's another relationship where we're in a relationship and I'm not living with you. I'm working, you're working, we're both busy, right? We go to work Monday to Friday, basically see just on weekends, or maybe once during the week. Maybe you come to pick me for lunch and we go eat and we come back, and then after work we're talking on the phone. I'm telling you how work went, you're telling me how work went, I'm telling you about new experiences, I'm telling you about a new project I'm trying to take on, how I'm supposed to go about it. There's just something new to talk about every time. And then you're not seeing me always. So whenever you see me, I'm glowing, I'm looking nice, there's something to talk about, right? You know that at that point, you cannot see me finish because I'm always coming with something new. You understand? So I think that time is not the basic factor when it comes to see finish. It's like in my house where we're 11, right? Right now, most of my siblings are married and in their houses.
Yeah.
We that are not married, everybody's working. We're not staying together, right? When we used to stay together, before we used to fight, we used to quarrel. The slightest thing, if I use this cup now and drink water and I drop it here, my sister might come and shout, "Why are you dropping this cup here?
Yeah.
Take it inside." But now that we're not staying together, I might come, if I go to her house now and I use this cup and drink water and I drop it here, she might not shout. She has not seen me, so she wants to know what's going on with me. So she's more interested in the conversation than the cup that I'm keeping there. She's not seeing me every day, so she's not annoyed. She's not using my makeup and removing it from where I kept it. So I'm not getting pissed at her every time. So I think it's more about being in the same space every time and seeing everything that you do every time rather than time itself.
So I also think another fact is striking the balance. When to withdraw, it should be emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
To the point that people don't respect privacy.
Well,
especially in Nigeria. I want to be alone. You are pushing yourself on me. I want to talk to you. You are not available. We should be able to study people, emotions, find the balance, know when to come in and when not to come in. I think with that way, it's actually going to be difficult for someone to think they've seen everything that it is to you. Queen, I'm so happy to have you on this show today. It was amazing having you here.
Well,
thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So guys, follow us on all our social media handles: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at 360 Talk with Zor. And trust me, the content there. No worry, now you will talk out. Just follow us and subscribe. Yeah, thank you. See you.